So imagine driving in the same route every single time and going to a certain destination, and every time resetting, taking that same route, and you're expecting a different destination. Like, do you see how insane that sounds? So that's what it sounds like. And I'm saying this because I had to come to this realization myself. That's what it sounds like when you want a different outcome in your life, but you remain the same person. See, a lot of us, we want to basically keep our old self. We're so tied to who our current self is. I don't even want to say old self because you haven't categorized it as such, right? You keep it as your current self. You have the same habits where you're getting drunk every night, or you're playing video games all day, no purpose. You're sitting around the couch. You're not really doing anything with your life. Like you're constantly just procrastinating, wasting time. You're not learning, you're not growing, and you want to be a millionaire? Like, do you know what a millionaire does? Do you know like how that life works? Do you know what it takes to get there? Especially obviously if your parents didn't hand it down to you. Like, and I say millionaire because most men these days, they want money, right? They want resources to be able to do what they want. They want freedom, right? Well, to be free, to have that kind of money, to be free, you need to become a whole different person. Right? And I spoke about identity shifting, but it's deeper than that. You have to literally destroy this current version of yourself. You have to be willing to let it go because it is the reason why you're still in the position that you're in. It's the reason why you still are around the same bums that you're around, the same friends that aren't about anything. You look around you and you wonder why you're attracting these same type of friends. You wonder why you're attracting the same type of woman, right? And vice versa if women are watching this. You wonder why you're still attracting the same type of man every single time. It's the same type of person because of who you are. Who you are is not equivalent to who you're looking for, who you want to become, that life that you want. It's not equivalent to that. The frequency, the vibrations are not equal, right? So if what you want, the vibration is up here and your current vibration is down here, there is no possible way you can ever get that. Because everything in life works in terms of vibrations. It matches frequencies. It matches energy. So the type of woman that you want may be vibrating at a higher level and you're stuck vibrating here. There's no way you're going to get that person. And if you do, by the stroke of luck, get that person, you're just going to trick it off. You're going to mess it up because you haven't worked on yourself. You haven't destroyed that old version of yourself that needed to die to be able to bring on that new version of yourself, right? The new person, the new you, that's who you need to focus on. And you have to figure out what habits you need to incorporate. You need to be able to let the old things go. Let the old history go. I know you probably know of people who, they always talk about like the glory days in high school. They always talk about like how they were the man in high school and all that. And then you see them now and they're doing the same stuff that they always did. They were always the same high school person. They literally have not made a change. And you wonder like, how does this person exist? How does this person continue to exist knowing that you haven't evolved? He hasn't evolved. He stayed the exact same. A lot of you probably, you have friends. You have friends that they remain the same. Every time you make even a tiny step forward, they remain the same and they keep pulling you back because you keep going to the same habits. You keep going for beer on the weekends with them, watching the game every weekend. You don't work on yourself. You don't figure out how you can actually elevate yourself financially, elevate yourself physically, elevate yourself spiritually. You don't even look into these different concepts. You don't have time because all you do is mess around with your old friends. It doesn't make sense. So when you come in and you want these big grandiose things, this is how depression happens, because you have these grandiose ideas of what your future looks like, but you're not willing to sacrifice the current version of yourself, the current habits that you have, to be able to adopt the new ones that will make you a newer version of yourself to match the frequency and the vibration of the thing that you want. And again, this isn't me talking new age. This is literally science. Like, this is literally science that everything is a vibration. Everything is energy. And the way that you can attain a certain thing is by matching whatever energy that thing harbors. And the only way you can do that is by understanding what it will take to get there. What are the different steps? For example, if you want to be a multimillionaire, you are going to be working 24/7. Most multimillionaires that I know, they work 24/7. And you can find a way to make work play. Like, work is kind of like your life to a certain extent, like a lifestyle opportunity. A lot of people are doing that now, so they make it look easy, but it's still work regardless. right? Filming content, if you do that full time, it's still work, right? You still have to like plan, you still have to do all these things, but it's a part of your life. It's a lifestyle, right? But if you don't choose the lifestyle route and you want to go the corporate route, then you have to understand that you're going to put in a lot of work. Like a lot. You're not going to be sleeping for 8 to 9 hours a night. You may pull an all-nighter because you may have some things that you have to get done. You may not be able to give the woman that you're with the level of attention that you used to be able to give because you had all that time. There are things that you're going to have to sacrifice to get to where you want to be. And I'll be honest, you probably don't want to sacrifice those things. Because if you did want to sacrifice those things, you would already be there. Because it's literally like this. It's fast. When you make that actual change and develop those habits and become the newer version of yourself and work towards being that newer version, the progress it accelerates so fast. So if you're still stuck at where you're at, you need to start analyzing, okay, what am I doing now? This is the old version of me. How do I change into the new version of me? What are the habits that I need to take, right? Why am I still stuck where I'm at? Who am I surrounded by? What are my friends doing? Are they doing what I want to do? Or are they as ambitious as I am? Are they as curious as I am? And if they're not, you have to understand these same friends are going to drag you down. And it's not because they want to intentionally. Subconsciously, they will because they don't want you to elevate beyond them. Human beings, when they're attached to you, they do not want you to leave the state that you're in because it causes discomfort. And humans innately dislike discomfort. It takes a very special person to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is where the 1% are. They're very comfortable being uncomfortable. So take that as something that you need to be as the newer version of yourself. But the reality is you constantly have these big, audacious goals that you're not willing to change yourself for. You're not willing to kill your old self. You want to keep your old self alive because it keeps you comfortable. It keeps you almost it's like nostalgia that you hold on to. It's like the kid, like I said, that like was in high school and that's all they talk about. They got through college, but they still talk about high school. They still talk about all the boys or the girls in high school. Right? They still talk about the prom. They still talk about being the man. Like, you got to let that old stuff go and go for new things. This is why you're still in the state that you're in. There's no other reason. And you have to be responsible in terms of you need to take responsibility for where you're currently at and understand that I need to destroy this old self and I need to figure out how to do it as fast as possible so I can get to where I want to be as fast as possible. Because if you keep holding on to these crutches, these things that feel comfortable, but they're really holding you down, they're like anchors, you're going to get so frustrated that you're going to drop into a very insane depressive state, especially if you're hyper ambitious. Hyper ambitious people that don't destroy their old self and actually try to elevate and progress, they become the craziest depressive people ever. I've experienced that. Like when I feel like I'm holding on to my old self and I'm not moving forward, like that hyper depressive state hits. And it's just crazy. And I know you've probably felt that before if you're a very ambitious man. Like you have that level of desire to want to elevate. You have these big goals, but you don't want to know what it's going to take to get there. You just assume that, okay, if I keep doing what I'm doing now, I'm going to get there. Well, if you kept doing what you were doing, you would have already gotten there already because you've been doing the same things for years, right? You don't want to do the same things over and over again and expecting a different result. Again, that is literally insane. Like that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But again, we do this innately as humans because we love the idea of comfort. So you have to understand this concept because the minute you can really, and honestly, this channel, I feel like is all about awareness because awareness will destroy a human being. Lack of awareness will destroy a human being. Not being aware of yourself, not being aware of other people, not being aware of situations, of what to do, of what not to do. You need to be aware. You need to start really paying attention to little things in your life and understanding why certain things serve you and certain things don't serve you. You need to continuously and meticulously analyze why you're in the position that you're in. How can you make the change? How can you become a better version of yourself? What are some things that you're doing now that aren't serving you? You need to constantly be auditing yourself. And it's hard. It is a very bioenergetically demanding task. Like it takes so much energy out of you to be able to do that. But the minute you do that, The minute you start understanding what you need to do and how you need to change and what are the things that you're doing now that don't work that you need to let go, who are the people that you know that are not helping you, they're actually pulling you down to their level. Once you understand that, you can cut things quick, and you need to be ruthless. You need to be absolutely ruthless with cutting people off. People who really don't serve you have to. Because if you don't do that, you will continuously fall down and you'll wonder why. You'll be around these people when you're down. So let's say you're going for something, you mess up, you take an L, you find yourself with them chilling. And you wonder why you keep chilling with these same people at the lowest state of your life every time. And it's because they don't have that level of frequency that you're looking for. They're not aiming for that even. They're just the same. They're barcodes, they're bots, NPCs, non-playable characters. Non-playable character in a video game, what is that? That's the character that you ever see in a video game that does exactly what the video game programmed it to do. It can't move on its own. It's not its own entity. It's literally controlled by a line of code in the game by the computer itself. So you don't want to be around that. You want to be around people who think freely for themselves and have some level of elevated thought. You know, like you want to be around that. And it's not you being snobby. It's not you not wanting to hang out with these people. Well, no, it is you not wanting to hang out with these people, but it's not you looking down on them. It's more so you looking after yourself, right? A lot of us, we don't look after ourselves. We try to look after other people because we care about other people and we care about how other people feel. And we don't really take the initiative to understand how we feel and why we are where we're at and how we need to get out of that, because that is ultra important. If you can't do that, you're going to stay in the same state and you're going to continue to be depressed. You're going to continue to be upset about your situation and you're going to feel hopeless. This is the best way to get unstuck, is by destroying your old self. Every habit that you have. If you're waking up at 12 p.m. or on a weekend or every day you're waking up right when you have to go to work, you're not waking up early, you're not going to the gym, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not eating the right foods, you're not doing these things to improve yourself, you need to start auditing your entire life every day and figuring out, where did I waste time? Where could I have done better? Because that's the only way you're going to forge a new version of yourself. And the minute you do that, it's game over. You're going to look around, you're going to see a whole new set of friends. You're going to see a whole new situation. You're going to see a whole new girl by you that actually matches the energy that you have, right? I know you want somebody. I know you go out trying to find the girl that you think about. But that girl that you think about, I promise you, you're not ready for her right now, which is why she's not in your life. If you were ready for her, she would be there by now. You're not ready. You have not killed the old version of yourself and birthed the new version of yourself that actually matches the frequency of that woman that you want. So of course you're going to get the same bottom feeders that you're always going to get. And that goes both ways too. Women too. It's the same thing. Like, you're going to keep attracting the same bottom feeder men if you have not shifted who you are, if you have not killed your old self and become a new version of yourself and elevated to the frequency that a specific man wants. That specific man that you want vibrates at. If you can't match that vibration, you'll never find him. And when you find him, you'll just mess it up. That's just how it works. But you have to, it's all about awareness. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I always talk about this type of metaphysical thing to a certain extent, because I think it's important for us to be aware of metaphysical ideas in terms of like vibrations and understanding like how like the world really works from an energetic level. Like I can get really deeper into this topic and I'm slowly getting there. I'm giving y'all surface level stuff right now just because we're building and I want to attract people in. And then once you guys are here, I will start to actually break down like bigger topics and more like in-depth topics when it comes to quantum mechanics, when it comes to understanding just overall like nuances of life, nuances of fitness and health. I'll bring all that together, but I appreciate you either way for tapping in. Make sure you, again, comment, like, subscribe. We're growing. We're growing very, very fast. I'm excited. And join the newsletter. Newsletter's free. Mind of Martel. We talk about the 5 pillars of being a 1% man. We look at being physically jacked, mentally jacked, spiritually jacked, financially jacked, and socially jacked. All 5, right? I'm playing on the jacked word because that's what the algorithm loves, and that's what y'all love, clearly. So, yeah, we're gonna coin that word. We're gonna make that word ours. But I appreciate y'all, fam. Like, this has been an incredible journey. I love talking to y'all, especially like when I get, a little break from the work that I'm doing, and like I finish working out, I'll just come and talk to y'all. So appreciate you again. Catch you on the next video. Have a good rest of your day.